So, dear brothers and sisters, indeed I am very happy having this opportunity to talk as a lecture between so you organized this opportunity. Thank you very much. Then, when I give talk with people, I always have the feeling we are same human being, mentally, emotionally, physically, we are same. Then more important, everyone want happy life. I think nobody in early morning, as soon as you wake up, wish more trouble in that day. I think nobody feel that. So nobody want trouble. However, many trouble is essentially our own creation. Why? Here, big contradiction. Nobody wants problem. But many problems are our own creation. Why? I think two things. Lack of knowing the reality. And that also is due to lack of holistic view. And from Buddhist viewpoint, and also it is due to the too much grasping things as appears, which just believe is something absolute. That's one thing. Another thing, too much self-centered attitude. These two things, lack of knowledge, the reality, and then too much self-centered attitude. These two things are, I think, creates unnecessary problem. So these problems, we can't blame this problem happened because of that. Ultimately, we have to realize the ultimate factor of these problems is within ourselves. So now how to remove that? Not through prayer, not through money, not through power, but through understanding, awareness. We may say wisdom. Right? So now, happiness, everybody, including animals, you see, want less disturbances, less problem. So we human beings too, of course. Now perhaps I think before talking the source of happiness, I think it is maybe useful to know something about the system of our mind. Because pleasure, happiness, also part of our mind. And sadness, painful experience, these also part of our mind. So usually you see people simply, they have the sort of feeling or impression, mind is something, one thing, one entity, something independent, something absolute. Up to now, as a result of meeting with many scientists, many occasions, in the scientific sort of field, still not clear sort of today distinction about sensorial mind and basic mind.
Mental consciousness.
Huh?
Mental consciousness.
Mental consciousness. So it is important to make distinction. Sensorial consciousness of mind and mental consciousness. Now usually you see people, seeking some sort of pleasure or happy sort of, or experiences, but mainly relying on sensorial level. So, some beautiful things by eye consciousness, beautiful musics, sounds, ear consciousness. Similarly, taste, smell,
Tactile objects. Tactile objects.
And including sex. You see, all these five. There's some kind of positive experiences, mainly on sensorial level. These experiences, very temporary sort of experience. So long, music there, feel happy. That stop, no longer. And seeing something beautiful, feel happy. Once that gone, no. So certain sort of experience, mental level, through these sensorial level, again short. So now the mental level, if we develop sort of certain sort of positive experience, mental level, that remains long last. And then also the mental level, some experience, more calm, peace, pleasant sort of the feeling. Then sensorial level, even something because of the disturbance of the voice, right? Noise. Or it's a difficult, difficult facility, poor facility. Even physical illness, physical sort of pain, can subdue with a more mental level calmness. Other hand, mental level, too much fear, too much anxiety, too much stress. The sensorial level, some sort of enjoy the pleasant sort of feeling, experience, cannot subdue mental level anxiety or fear. So obviously, mental level experience are more important than the sensorial level experience. I think if we pay some attention, I think everybody experience now here mental level, happiness not necessarily something, a feeling of pleasure. I think happiness here, I think mainly in the sense of satisfaction. Even physical level, suffering, painful experience may bring deep satisfaction in mental level. So happiness mainly refer the consciousness level, right? Mental level. So now that, of course, all major religious traditions are trying to bring calm, peace, or positive sort of feeling in the mental level. Most cases, I think, are common for all religious traditions. theistic religion, non-theistic religion, all carry one sort of practice, that is faith. So faith, not sensory level. Faith, the sixth mind,
Sixth consciousness.
sixth consciousness or mental level consciousness. Of course, the sensorial sort of consciousness helping, listening, some music, some praying, like that, or seeing image of Buddha, image of God, image of Jesus Christ, like that, or image of Shivaji, like that. Of course, it helps, but the real sort of effect on mental consciousness, faith, not on sensory level, but mental consciousness. And then the practice of love, compassion, with that forgiveness, tolerance, contentment, all these sixth mental level, the mental level consciousness. Then non-theistic religious tradition, such as one part of Sangha, very, very old Indian tradition, I think almost 3,000 years, more than 3,000 years. Then at the time of Buddha, Jainism, Buddhism, these two new non-theistic religion developed. So these non-theistic religious tradition, they have no idea of creator, but believe in law of causality. Effect, cause, effect, cause and effect. So now everybody knows in this country law of karma. Karma means action. So any action, whether physical action, verbal action, mental action, out of positive emotion, sincere motivation, like compassion or forgiveness, or these positive emotion, with that positive emotion, and then certain sort of action comes. That's the karma. So similarly, that's positive karma, or good karma, because motivation is something good, sense of concern of others' well-being, which is benefit to other and benefit to oneself. Therefore, consider positive. There's no absolute positive and negative. Positive, negative, due to certain factor. So, like that. So then, likewise, anger, hatred, suspicion. Of suspicion, there may be two kinds, positive, negative. But in any way, some negative sort of motivation. Negative means ultimately bring some uncomfortable to oneself or others. So any such sort of motivation and lead physical action, verbal action, mental action, these are negative karma. So experiences, pleasure, pain, these due to this action. That's the law of causality. So both different approach, but the aim is same. Strengthening love, compassion, forgiveness, these things. One theistic religion use concept of God, creator. Non-theistic use concept of law of causality. If you do good thing to other, you get benefit. If you do harmful to other, you get negative result, consequences like that. So now, without relating with religious faith, there are another way. Religions, any religious faith, also is related with some mysterious things. But without touching any mysterious thing, on the basis of obvious things, we can show or we can educate people. Warm-heartedness or affectionate heart or compassionate heart is the source of happiness. Firstly, biologically, all those social animals, including some animals or birds, there are some kind of a sense of responsibility for a group. The reality, individuals' survival, individual sort of happiness depend or defends individual sort of well-being depend on rest of the group. So because of that reality, a sense of some kind of community, a sense of
Unity. Sense of unity.
Sense of sort of can concern the rest of the group. So we belongs to that. No matter what one single, powerful single person just alone cannot survive. For survival, not only our happy life, but even survival itself depends on the rest of the community. That's the fact. So because of that, emotional level, emotional world, there must be some emotion which brings together. That's affection, each other. So affection brings together, closer. Anger, expel. Suppose anger and attachment or affection, these two things for survival, the things which helpful to survive bring together, that's love, compassion. The things which harmful for your survival, expelling, that's anger. And fear, positive fear. If there is real sort of danger, then fear also is positive, brings cautious and expel. So, the emotional level, by nature, we have these two things. Protect oneself, or protect your own interest, expel the others, the opposite thing. So, affection, compassion is part of our mind for survival. Now here, we human, this level, other animals, same. Dogs, cats, and many birds all have the same sort of ability, same nature. Now we human beings, we have this marvelous human intelligence. So therefore, on the basis of biological factors of certain emotion, on that basis, they use human intelligence for long-term interest, wider perspective of interest. Then we can increase these loves of compassion which biologically develop. Now here, the compassion or love, mainly biological sort of level, it is limited, biased, and also often goes with hatred or suspicion. Now, second level of compassion, love, through training, use human intelligence, use reasons, logics, or interest of wider perspective and long-term perspective. That actually become unbiased. Now, one clear example. The biological factor of love, compassion can develop towards your friend. Towards your enemy, instead of love, compassion, hatred, anger, suspicion. Because, you see, biological level, very much oriented others' attitude. Your friend's attitude good for you, so you love. Your enemy's attitude to you is harmful, therefore, anger, these negative things. Now use human intelligence. Yes, irrespective whether the individual, friend or enemy or neutral, but still part of the community. So your life depends on the community. Member of the community, not necessarily all are your friend, but some disagreement people, also part of the community. So now today's world, you see each other may be negative sort of attitude, but for survival, need both. So I often see expressing, now today's world, our sort of century-old strong feeling, we and they, and between them, some kind of solid barrier. Every sort of care, we don't care, no bother, or even wish, because of wish some bad things, them. So that old way of thinking. In ancient time, each community, each nation, more or less independent. Now today, everything interdependent. According to that reality, now strong sort of concept of we and they is outdated. We must consider rest of the humanity, rest of the world as part of we. Because our interests depend on them. Now here, personal attitude, not much relevant. So therefore, using these sort of reasons, and we can extend our genuine sense of concern or well-being, not on the basis of their attitude, but basis of one of our community, irrespective their attitude, individual attitude towards you, but still part of the community. Therefore, on that level, not oriented their attitude, but oriented as a human brothers sisters, part of the community, we can extend our love, compassion towards them on that level. That animal cannot do. We human beings, using our intelligence, we can do, we have the potential to develop that level of compassion. That is unbiased. Genuine compassion. Now here it is important to make distinction. Others' action or attitude and the being itself. So others' action is concerned, others' attitude is concerned, if so-called your enemy create a problem for you. So as far as their action is concerned, you may take appropriate countermeasure. But as an actor, as a human being, human brothers and sisters, you still can keep compassion, sense of concern of their well-being. In fact, the serious concern about their well-being, if you let their wrongdoing without check, ultimately they will suffer. So out of sense of concern of their long-term, their well-being, take countermeasure in order to stop their wrongdoing. So that kind of attitude is actually looks countermeasure, but actually compassionate sort of work, like that. So therefore, these are sort of training, way of training our mind, not through meditation, but utilize our intelligence, analyze. Through that way, our concept, you see, can change. Once we develop our mental attitude is more realistic, based on reasons and more open, then you can keep happiness. Happiness here very much related with calm mind, no stress, no anxiety, no fear. On one level, you can see negative things. But in deeper level, still you can keep calm mind. Irrespective whether religious believer or non-believer. So now scientific finding. Often you see that they call healthy body, healthy mind. Very close link. Agitated mind, longer period, really very, very harmful for our physical health. Calm mind, healthy mind, no matter the circumstances, you individually, if you can keep healthy mind, then that immense benefit to your own physical health. So actually, some scientists is telling in our sort of meeting, many occasions, they say fear, anger, hatred is actually eating our immune system. Other hand, keep our mind calm, less stress. Very, very helpful to keep immune system. Increases, even increasing. I often sharing with audience, one occasion in New York, one meeting, some medical scientists and also some other sort of scientists in other fields. And one medical scientist, he mentioned, according to his sort of finding, those people who come, also who express often I, me, mine like that, such people have greater risk of heart attack. Reason, of course, such people very much cherishing oneself, but too much self-centered sort of attitude. So with that kind of attitude, even small problem appears unbearable. Once you develop more open heart, sense of concern of others' well-being, and usually I call our inner door open. Then firstly, through that way, you can communicate with other people very easily. That brings more friend. That reduces loneliness feeling. And also more compassionate attitude, the problems. Okay, this is a problem, but okay. That kind of sort of feeling, attitude, that immense help to reduce anxiety, stress. Wow. So it is very, very sort of useful for our health. After all, we are, as I mentioned earlier, social animal. So this mental attitude is very well, go very well with our the reality as a social animal. I think generally people, stress importance of education. It's very right. Many problems due to lack of knowledge, due to ignorance. Many unnecessary problems we are facing. So through education, equipped way to look the thing more sort of wider way, more sort of comprehensive. Then we get sort of the holistic picture. So actually, very purpose of education is reduce gap appearance and reality. So education should be more holistic way. That's, I think, very important. So everybody consider importance of education. One thing. Then, on the basis of scientific sort of finding, the positive emotions are very important for our health. And a happy individual, happy family, happy community. So that I usually consider the real way or real method, the art of happiness. I really feel like that, according to my own sort of little experience. Now person, I think around 76. So age 16, I lost my freedom. Age 24, I become refugee, stateless, homeless. But anyway, I lost small home Tibet, but I found big home India. So in any way, whole my life go through turbulent sort of period. But I think comparatively, my mind quite peaceful. I hope not due to dullness. Dullness. I don't think too much dullness. I don't think. My mind quite sharp. When I engage with really famous scientists, these people, when they talk, my knowledge compared with them, of course, almost zero. But we train through Nalanda sort of tradition. Every single point analyze, logically analyze. So that really immense help to sharpen our mind. So I hope it's my mind not that dull. However, you see, during these sort of turbulent sort of experiences of life, my mind comparatively quite calm, not much problem. So immediate result is my health is very good. Actually, you see, important organ, because of gallbladder, that gone. About, I think, 2-3 years ago, I think, through surgery, is that gone. So, this body looks very normal human being, but one important human organ missing. But basically, my health, very good. I think my mental state, I think, really makes sort of the differences. This I feel. So some of my sort of friend physicians, after they check my sort of physical condition, often they say, oh, your physical condition is not like the person whose age 70s, over 70s, but looks still 10 years because of that. Shamba.
Yeah. Youth.
Younger.
Teenager.
They're like that. So therefore, they say like that. So there's nothing. So some usually people, when they introduce, according to some other sort of information, they describe me as a reincarnation of Kasa, our Lokadishwara. I know I'm whether truly reincarnated sort of higher being or not. I know my own mind. I can read my own mind. No, but I think a human being who utilizes human intelligence properly. So result, mentally happy, physically healthy. Isn't it? So that's everybody have the same sort of potential. Only question is whether pay sufficient attention or not, or sufficient awareness or not. That's the point. Otherwise, we all have the same sort of potential. So that's about my talk, or art of happiness. Clear? So I think here, ancient Indian sort of treasures, I usually call treasure, detailed knowledge about human emotions, about human mind. So naturally, irrespective of Buddhism or Jainism or different Hinduisms, all they have common practice of shamatha, practice of vipassana. Both the shamatha and vipassana is sort of certain sort of mental training. So since these traditions involve practice of shamatha and vipassana, naturally, a lot of explanation about mind, something like map of emotion, map of mind. I think that we really need more study, more education in that field. Should not consider as a part of religious practice, simply as an academic subject. In Western psychology, very, very limited.
Information.
Very limited information. So as I mentioned before, mind, when people say mind is something solid, something just single entity. No. The world of mind, so vast. And then it is very important to know the system, different minds, how it develop, how it work. That's important. Even you see taking care, medical care about physical, we should know the physical sort of system, how it works. So something, symptoms come here, there must be causes, and cause level vast. So similarly, mental level, also we should know the system, whole system of the mind, mental world, as an academic subject, not a religious subject. Whether that knowledge used for next life, or heaven, or even hell, then it relates with religion. But simply, well-being of this world, well-being of this life, there's nothing to do with religion. We can separate these sort of information used for religious way or secular way. We can use. So I think India, I often see sort of teasing my Indian friend. You see, they sort of every day they worship one of their god or goddesses, or some flower, some incense, and they recite some sentences of Sanskrit shloka, Sanskrit
Stanza.
verses, but without knowing the meaning. Not our Jews. So we must pay more attention, study these really richness of ancient Indian sort of philosophy or Indian thought. That's very important. Then also, India, comparatively religious nation. So I often express religious faith and the injustice of the actions, like corruption, cannot go together. There's no third choice, only two. Faithful, religious-minded, caring, honest life, justice life, truthful life, or corrupt life, denying God, denying karma, just seek money, power. So it is a really big contradiction. Pray to Shivaji, pray to Ganesh, but meantime, no hesitation, corruptions. This big contradiction. Whether believer or non-believer, if the society, whole society, more clean, transparent, everybody feel happy. Nation can build more rapidly. A lot of corruptions, a lot of injustice. Then millions of poor people suffer most. So therefore, from the national interest viewpoint, India is the most populated democratic nation. Last over 60 years, India, I think, very, very stable country because of democracy, rule of law. So, the people of India, should think that level, how to build healthy India. So each Indian individual has a moral responsibility to build India more healthy way. Then India truly can make significant sort of significant sort of impact on the world because of the size, because of long history, like that. Thank you.